maintenance on this WordPress site. um, First thing I noticed, and I already did this, was I like to look through the plugins and so I'm doing some maintenance on this site. I just wanted to share with you how I do that. The first thing I usually do is I go to plugins and I look for plugins that probably don't need to exist on the site. I see they're doing a backup, that's great. I see a couple of deactivated ones. Check and log email, I might come back to that one later. Classic editor is active, so I'm kind of making notes of these things. Easy theme and plugin upgrades, that can be deactivated because WordPress core now has that functionality, so that plugin is basically worthless as far as I know. And just scrolling down, I had already deactivated a few of these, like Migrate Guru, PHP Compatibility Checker. Those are both related to a migration that already happened. I saw Regenerate Thumbnails was active, so I deactivated that. SiteGround Optimizer should be active in this case because the site is on SiteGround, and so that's a good place to start with, just speeding things up. I see Smush, some other WooCommerce stuff. I'm also noticing that some updates are needed on some of these. Great, so that all looks good. I don't think it deactivated that, or it activated. There it goes. This is a slow-moving site apparently. One thing, okay, so I'm just going to go now to inactive, and I'm going to delete all the inactive plugins because you don't need them, they're already inactive. And so that'll take a minute here. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm curious about that check and log email because I want to know how many it's storing. And so I'm going to go over to the settings in a minute once it's done deleting all these plugins. I'm just curious if it's like storing gigabytes worth of emails and that you probably don't need to store. So, but you can see it's almost done here deleting all these plugins that we don't need. I'm just going to hover here, go to settings on the check and log email. Let's see what our settings options are here. Looks like they have, okay, they don't have auto delete, so we're just going to leave that for now. Let's go to Jetpack and just make sure that's working properly. Looks like they're using the brute force protection, that's fine. Performance, they're not using anything there. Writing, they're using some of the features, although I doubt he's going to use latex. That's like for mathematical equations and stuff, and this is just a t-shirt store. I believe that because I don't know if he's using any of these blocks. We'll just leave those active. Custom CSS, again, I don't know if he's using that or not. Same with these. I don't know right now if this site is using those, so we're just going to leave them active. Sure, sharing buttons, sounds good. Let visitors subscribe, great. I usually check this box on my sites, but we'll leave it for him. It allows people to comment using like their Twitter and Facebook logins. All right, and he has WPME. He's probably not using that, but we'll just leave it for now. All right, so that's pretty much configured there. Let's check the plugin updates next. So I'm just gonna go to update available here. What I'm looking for is any like red flag things. These all look like they should be updated. Like WooCommerce I'm usually wary of, but because we're moving from 7.6 to 7.7, it seems pretty straightforward. So I'm just gonna check these and then update. This will just take a minute here. The next thing I'm curious about, I want to make sure that the Backup Buddy backups are working. So once these updates are done, I'll go check that out. And I'm also we'll need to configure SG Optimizer as well. So all these things are coming down the pike here once these updates are made. One thing I know we can do within SiteGround is we can make sure memcache is active. I'm just going to activate that here. Um, and that should speed up this admin stuff a little bit. All right, so let's next go to Backup Buddy, and I just want to see that the backups are happening as expected. And it looks like they're not making backups. So that's something I'm going to note and just ask, like, hey, do you want to be making these backups? And they might want to, they're at SiteGround, which does its own backups, but they might still want to do them. All right, so let's go to SG Optimizer, and I can already tell this site is moving faster now that I activated the memcache feature. And we'll make sure these are checked here. So I activated it on the server level, so I'm just going to click this too to make sure it's doing its thing. We're going to do that. Let's go to environment. So we're still within the SiteGround Optimizer stuff. I am already enforcing HTTPS. We'll just do that too to double confirm. I usually kind of go with the recommended settings here, 120, disable. I usually don't do scheduled database maintenance because I'm concerned. I'm just worried that, actually the main reason is that usually it will delete post drafts, and yeah, this is the thing that or drafts and really just drafts, but also pages and revisions. I usually like to keep those around in most cases, just in case. Okay, let's look at the front end here. We'll go ahead and do some minification here. And when you do this stuff, it might break things, but we'll see if it breaks things in our case. In a best case scenario, it just speeds things up, so we'll find out. I'm going to just check all these, minify. So, SG Optimizer, this plugin, isn't a great plugin. Like, I get much better results out of WP Rocket usually. However, it's not a bad place to start. I'm also going to go to media. We're going to do image compression. Oh, it's disabled? Yeah, we're going to enable it. We'll do low. We'll back up all original images. I want to compress those to override images with custom compression level. Let's see this as well. It's great to have. All right, we're just going to confirm that. It's going to do its thing. And we're also going to check this WebP thing. And so it's going to do two things. It's going to compress the images, and it's going to convert the image to WebP. It looks like it's both happening at once, which is interesting. Let's see if I can turn this on while all that's happening. It looks like I can. I also like to change this to a lower number. What we're saying here is that the maximum image we'd like to upload is 1920 pixels, which is enough for pretty much everything you can think of. And so I usually do that. And then, so now it's going to do its thing. It goes image by image, so it takes a little bit. While that's happening, let's see what else we can do. Oh, word fence. We can run a word fence. Let's make sure word fence is set up properly, first of all. So we'll go here. Come on, word fencey. There it is. I like to start with the firewall stuff in WordFence, so I click that, manage WAF, optimize, download, continue, and so that's the big thing you do. But I also like to change the rate limiting, and I usually just set all these to 480, which is still a very high number. What you're saying is if some bot attacks the site, they're allowed to attack at 480 visits per minute. So it's still extremely high, but it's helps with the false, like we're going to get error on the side of not locking people out. Here's some more firewall stuff that I don't usually play with. Next I do scan, and so what I like to do initially, for like an initial scan, I like to do a deeper scan, so I'm going to do a high sensitivity and click save. And then we'll go back to scan here. I'm going to click Start New Scan. One thing I noticed here too, there's this message, WP maintenance mode is now light start. Enjoy the same features, templates. That's really weird because why do we need a maintenance mode plugin at all? And so I'm going to go over to plugins here and see if I can figure out what's going on there. I'm going to do a search for maintenance. There it is. Okay, we're just going to deactivate this because I'm pretty darn sure we don't need it. And while I'm in there, I'm going to kind of review these again. Duplicate page, okay. Advanced Custom Fields Pro. I'm looking for things we don't need. No page comment. Yeah, probably not needed because you can deactivate page comments. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're just, well, yeah, I'm going to deactivate it because we can do that without a plugin. And so once that's done being deactivated, we'll do a couple things. We're going to go to pages. We're going to go to comments. I'm sorry, pages and posts are what we need. And we are also going to need settings, discussion. So first we're going to turn off the comments. Well, he might want comments. I'm guessing not, but actually let's see what his settings were there before we do this. Let's just see what he was doing with that plugin, because maybe he had deactivated all comments, in which case we can do that. So let's reactivate it. And so now I'm going to see what the settings were on that Light Start plugin. Light Start status deactivated. I think that means the plugin is just not active at all, which is really interesting. Oh, wait, I activated the wrong plugin here. Let's go back. Show me the plugins. This is a slow admin. You know, it is WooCommerce, and that might be the main reason it's super slow. We don't need maintenance mode. We wanted to check on the other one, so I did the wrong. No page comment was the one. I'm just going to click activate that in a new tab here. There we go. All right, so let's go down to no page comment settings. That's what we need. Let's see what we got here. So disable, so they're saying disable trackbacks. Okay, we'll just leave it active for now. If it was my site, I'd probably just disable all the comments and deal with that, but that's fine. We can leave it there. It's not my site, but we can, let's refresh here. We can delete the Light Start plugin because that, it was set as inactive, and also it's a maintenance mode plugin that he probably won't ever need again. So that's it. So we've updated all the plugins. We've kind of like reviewed what's going on here. We're doing a security scan. Let's just check out the site and make sure it's still working properly. I'm going to open up a couple pages here. So it looks like the home page is functioning great. There's this issue here. I'm just going to fix it for him while I'm in here. The issue, like these things are getting cut off, and I'm curious what's going on there. I'm just kind of reviewing the markup here. So what I'm thinking off the top of my head is I want to give these, there's something going on with the heights. And so I wonder, I'm just going to, just for fun, admin height 100, let's say 1000 px. Okay, so that didn't do anything. So that means you can see it made it super big, but that's not the issue. Is it this? There it is. So it is setting this height at that for some reason, and it's likely in the theme, but maybe we can target it. I'm just going to grab this class here, and we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to go to the customizer and just see if I can fix that. I don't know that I'll be able to because it looks like it's added via JavaScript, but we'll see. So Chrome is hanging up on me here. Come on, Chromie. Still loading. Yeah, Chrome might be dead on me here. I might need to restart. Let's try old Firefoxy.
I just have too much in it. I know.
I'm gonna log in via Firefox and maybe that'll get us more action here. I'll switch back to Chrome, see if that's not. Chrome's still dead. Might need to do a force restart on that. But here we are. I see this update WooCommerce database. That often happens after you update WooCommerce, so we're going to click that. So we were going to go to the appearance customizer. Oops. We'll do that. And what I want to do is add some custom CSS. So I'm going to kind of, this was one class there, so I'm going to do that. Let's just do height and just try to test something out. Okay, so that didn't fix it, but what if we throw an important? That did it. Okay, so that might be the best way. Let's see how big it needs to be. About 300, no, a little more. 320 because stuff was getting cut off there. So we'll do 320 there. And I'm also going to use the home class here. Let's see. I'm going to grab the class from the home. Oh, here, we're back here. Good. Chrome is now working again. Okay, it's .home. I thought it was .home, but wasn't sure. So I'm just going to do .home, and then that should fix that. And then let's publish that. So that'll fix that spacing issue. And actually what we probably want to change it to is min height, because on mobile you might run into issues if you just have a fixed height. You know, I don't know for sure, but this should work fine on mobile. Oh, did it break it on mobile? Let's see. I'm just going to delete this for a second. No, okay, so my stuff didn't break it on mobile. It's just broken on mobile. They need a new theme or something. Yeah, weird. Okay. Let me do also, while we're on that, I'm just going to throw this in mobile view and refresh and see if it has like a mobile specific theme. Okay, so it does resize stuff for mobile, but you can see it's still having problems on mobile, but it does require a refresh, it seems like. One thing I would love to fix that spacing on these LIs. So let's see, let's just grab it. It's going to be product, and it comes, it's within that class. Okay, so let's do this here. It'll be home. We're going to grab this. So that's our class. And we probably, what we want to do, let's just do that, publish, and then I'm going to refresh because I want to see if I can get the mobile view going here. Show me the mobile. No, probably not. Yeah, it's not going to do its thing. So we're going to have to do a little hacky thing. I'm going to refresh here and see if it fixed the issue. Oh, it wasn't. It was both the height. Let's see here. Dot product. This is what I want. I want to do a media query. Max width 480, screen max width. Media only screen. Max width 480, I think. I'll just try that. also gonna, I always forget media queries. I always forget the proper syntax, so I just wanna make sure I did that correctly. Media screen, let's see if I can find a max. There it is, at media, max width. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back here, make sure I get that. Okay, and so this will be 480px. I'm just gonna indent this. Let's, and we're also gonna add some padding. We'll add margin. And let's publish it, and then we'll come back here and see if it fixes anything. And we're not actually being paid to fix this, so I'm not gonna like spend a whole lot of time, but it just bothers me when I see, I think it's actually the element position. Yeah, what a headache. And then the UL is wrong. So this theme has lots of issues. It should be making it that bigger. I mean, I guess we could, we're already doing it. We could just kind of hack through this. Let's say the min height equals 420, let's say. Let's publish that and see what it looks like here. I'm not sure it did. Oh wait, did it do something there? No, I don't think it did. So something weird is happening where it's not, you know, it's the style is not, was it the top? I think we needed to change the top. Let's see if that does anything. And at this point, because we're not getting paid for this specifically, we weren't asked about it, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna bring it up as an issue with the customer and see if they want to do anything about it. So for now, I'm just going to kind of comment this stuff out and see, because I don't think it did anything. Yeah, and you can see it's the same. Yeah. Although maybe the minimum height did help. Let's see again. No, it didn't. Okay. So we're just going to leave it like that. So what I'm going to tell them is, hey, I fixed the desktop view. The mobile view is still messy, and it'll cost X amount of dollars to fix. So that's the issue there. All right. And so now at this point, you know, we've done our updates. We've kind of reviewed things. Everything seems to be working properly. I'm going to consider my work done here in this case. So, but that's generally how I do you know, my approach to these maintenance things. Let me know if you have any questions.